Hello guys, happy Friday. Oh boy, I'll be honest, I was just sitting here talking for like 2 minutes and I'm like, why is this not popping up on my feed? And I'm like, what's going on? And then I like came up to my camera and I didn't push live. I didn't push go. So I'm just sitting here talking to myself, trying to find the comments, and that's because I didn't push live. So if that doesn't tell you how this week has gone, no, really though. Happy Friday. Let me know you guys are with me. Now I can see you. Yay. Okay, say hi in the comments. Let me know where you're joining from. That's always fun. It really is fun just to see the vast distance and somewhat connections. Sometimes you can be like, what? You live in, I don't know, Colorado too? Who knew? So you can build connections that way too. Yay. Hello, Susan. Hey, Nancy. So I'm excited. I am going to share with you guys a quick one-page layout that I created. It was actually over 4th of July weekend. I had a moment. I took this picture. I covered it with sticky notes just because I haven't had a chance to check with my neighbors. I don't want to show their kids' faces, you know, just all of that. So we'll hide it for the moment, and when I take a picture, I'll just buzz that out. But so that's what this is. It's not part of the design, but I did take this. Actually, my neighbor, Jamel, took the picture of the kids. I was so proud of him. He was like, the kids were hanging out, they were playing. It was 4th of July weekend, and they were just having such a fun time sweating, all this stuff, and we just sat outside. Some of the adults just talked and stuff, and he's like, we should take a picture. We should take a picture of the kids. And I was like, Susan, like, it was Jamel that said it, not me. Anyways, so of course I was just inspired. He texted me the picture, and then that weekend I just was like, oh, I'm gonna make a quick one-pager with that. That is the fastest I've ever taken a picture and then scrapbooked it, pretty much like the day after. But with that said, I'm gonna share with you guys a little bit into this layout and hopefully just share a couple simple tips, because you guys know how I like to keep things simple yet cute. Thanks, Nancy. It's almost darkened. It was more raspberry-like, but now it's kind of like a darker red sometimes. All right, so as far as designer templates, let me kind of just point those out really fast, and then I'll point out some of these quick details. So I saw this, where did I put it? I printed it off. Oh, there we go. So I actually saw this other layout that Missy, in another group, and she posted it because we, of course, love to play friendly with everyone else. And she was talking about how, like, you know, she used all of this stuff, and I was like, oh my goodness, I could totally, that's my inspiration right there. So really, I took this design and I grabbed the designer templates, and let me tell you guys, it came together so quickly. So now I can hopefully you guys can use this inspiration for your own creation, and it just kind of keeps trickling down. That's the beauty of inspiration. So I did use the Sunny a la carte from the Kiwi Club kit. If you guys are a Kiwi Club member, then you definitely have this one. If you're not yet, it's an awesome club. So I believe there's some overstock left in there if you haven't had a chance to get it or you just signed up. Anyways, it's a super fun kit. This was June's Kiwi Club kit, if I remember correctly. So I used that one here. Very simple to use. I used the stencil lines, and I just took a white pen and just stenciled those in, just kind of more for texture and dimension there. And then I also used the sun or the shine a la carte here. I used the clouds from the April Kiwi Club kit here. If you don't have those, you could maybe swap it out for like the little cone shape that's in Tiny Celebrate. Okay, so that's a good option. I use the sun a la carte all the time. I just think it's super fun, and it just adds, again, a couple little dimensional layers. And then I wanted something just, again, to add to the flowy sky feel. Of course, butterflies come in handy. And it just is bright and fun. There's boys, girls on this, but it's just playful and colorful and happy, right? It's just a happy feel. So I use those there. And then I did pull in the together from that quarantine kit that we did I don't know, a year or so ago. If you guys haven't pulled that one out, hopefully you're inspired to do so here. And then I didn't grab that one, so that's my bad. I used Tags 5 here and a tiny border for a little pop of color. And that's what I love about sometimes, whether they're little borders or strips, the tiny borders, often we think, oh, those are for card makers, which they are. But they're a good little extra element, design element, just like an accessory for your scrapbook layouts that can add, again, for the purpose of maybe adding a little touch of pop of color or pattern without making it feel overwhelming or too busy. So that is in a nutshell what I used. As far as the paper components, I pulled in some scraps. We don't have this in the shop anymore, but I'll mention it because I know a lot of people will usually ask. The best day ever, I used some pieces from that in this, and this was an old pocket paper kit. So super nice to pull out that and use some of those scraps of paper, okay? All right, so let me kind of share a little bit more into the little elements. You guys probably seen us do this, but I'll highlight this really fast. Noreen, a creative partner, Noreen actually did this, I don't know, couple years back. And of course, the moment she shared it, I instantly went and grabbed all my little threads that were in my sewing bucket that I touch occasionally, but not often. And I instantly stuck them by my scrapbooking supplies because I knew that I would, because that just spoke to me instantly. Because again, little simple things, inexpensive, which is usually what I like when it comes to the little embellishing things. For the most part, I'll stick to my paper because it's an inexpensive way to accessorize your page, and I've found that to be true in various different ways, right? We also use your paper stash, all the above. I know I'm speaking to the choir here, but also when it comes to little embellishments, I like just little added touches. You really don't need much, and you don't really need to go excessive on the expensive ones either. Personally, I don't think you do. So anyways, this is all you do. If you were gonna take some thread, okay, I had red here. I used some red. In this case, I just had this one right in front of me. And then you bunch it in. You will cut it. Am I still live? Okay. And then all I do is pull it apart. There's really nothing like technical about it. There's like not really a right way or a wrong way. I take the end, I put it back through, and then say if I wanted it to be, like if I had this piece here, I would cut it out a piece of paper. I'd put a little adhesive, like, you know, and push it down on that. And then I just put my element over it and have that texture, like you see here, come out the sides of it. So that's really it in a nutshell. Very simple. So if you have thread and you're like, what? Go do what I did and go grab it and put it next to your scrapbooking supplies, because I definitely use it a lot more in these type of creations, it seems like lately, on those. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to share is just, so I wanted a little sparkle. Actually, I'll come back to that one. Okay, so under this, you can use vellum. I just wanted a little texture, and you guys might not be able to see it as well. I definitely got that fulfillment from it. Even though it's a slight detail, it was actually really fun. And I went into, I don't know about you guys, but when we have birthdays in this house, if we get tissue paper, I kind of collect all the bags and tissue papers and I put them in this little Tupperware that's sitting on the top of our closet so that we can refurbish the gift bags and the tissue paper, so that if my kids get invited to a party, I just go grab one of those from previous. So I did that. I went and grabbed some of the tissue paper, and as you can see, because we pretty much just like crumble it and throw it in, and then I'll use it again on a, like I said, future birthday or something. So I went and grabbed it, and I just cut a piece out. So I just cut a square piece out of this, and then I layered it behind the photo because I was doing a one picture focused layout, because that's all we took. So in that case, a one pager really helps that. Well, it just makes sense, right? I'm not going to do a two pager for a one picture, but I also love to do two pagers because I also don't only take one picture all the time, so it doesn't make sense either that way. But yeah, and then I just adhered it behind. And you could do where it like comes out further. You really could play with that. And so I can't wait to see what you guys are inspired to create, your own versions and your own takeaways from these ideas. So that's just idea number 2. And then of course, I'll just make sure I mention this. If you guys do create your own version, please make sure to share it with us in the community. Use hashtag create with Kiwi Lane. We love to see what you create, but we also love just you guys to take these challenges on for yourself as the craft and ideas are shared with you. Create your own versions throughout the month, and then we'll do 3 lucky winners every month from those collections of samples and ideas that were shared using that hashtag. So, okay, the other thing was just using the, let me grab it really fast, spritz. Okay, so like I said, I was using these scraps of paper, and whenever I tend to do something like that, it's not like coming from a kit, so I don't really have necessarily full 12 by 12 sheets of paper or things like that. And it could also be the style that you love. It's just more this white space feel, which of course you could just take some white 12 by 12 white cardstock. I'm sure all of us have that in our stash one way or another. And then I just spritz. So you can get these in different colors. Lots of fun ways. We love to play with them. Again, play friendly with just other things. We're all creators in our own ways, right? So using what you love to create with, taking those raw materials and then creating with them. So you just, again, no rhyme or reason, just kind of spritzing on there. I will tell you one thing I've learned. I always kind of wipe these before I put the lid back on. Okay. So yeah, and then you could add multiple colors. So really simple, easy. Hey, while I'm on that, I didn't necessarily do this tip on this page, but I do want to also share with you, it's really fun. You can actually lay your designer templates down. Say like, I gotta get it so I can actually spray it on without getting it all over my table because I didn't get my mat. You could spray right over that, and then it's gonna leave an outline of that butterfly. So let it dry for a moment, and then you could take that off, and yes, that will wash off. You'll wash it right off your template. Now, granted, the designer templates are a tool, so if they get a little dirty or things like that, that's totally fine. But for the most part, it'll clean right off. So really simple to do. Here, let me go ahead and pop that off so you guys can see what that looks like. And then I'll just take this paper towel. I think wiping it off sooner than later is definitely, I guess I should note that, right? Like, yeah, don't let it sit there and dry on it. But yeah, it just comes right off. So another fun way, if you happen to have some of those or want to play around with that, another way you can design and create with these designer templates in your creations. So simple tool to help you. What brand are the inks? Oh, these ones are Heidi Swap that I have. She has definitely more colorful ones. I've seen them all over. You know, a lot of different companies have those. It seems like, I'm not sure who did it first, but you know, there's Distress, which Tim Holtz, Ranger, I guess is the brand, Tim Holtz brand. He usually has more like these colors, right? So hopefully that's can kind of lead you in that direction. So, but like I said, I've seen different types of, a lot of companies seem to manufacture those all together. So, okay. Oh, the last tip I was going to share with you. So, you guys seen how, like, you know, I believe like, oh, I'm trying to remember creative partner that utilized it. Either way, the molding paste, which I've shared with you in a previous previous craft-in, I used it a lot with the, was that Maze Kiwi Club? I don't know. Anyways, it's up in the PDF, so definitely check that out. I won't spend too much time on that one. But there's also this glimmer, and so what I did is I typically like with the little glitter stuff, you can get paper, or you could just use this. thought I had one cut out. Sorry guys, give me a second. I just put it onto paper and then I let it dry, and then that's how I kind of got this glitter, basically created my own glitter paper because I didn't have white glitter paper, believe it or not. So yeah, so you just take it and let me get a piece of scrap of paper. Hold on, 2 seconds. So it's really simple. But it was fun to pull out these little things that you can use from time to time when you're in the mood. And like I said, I just happened to be like, oh, let's do a really quick one pager. And I was surprised how fast it came together. It was just a fun one pager and such. So with white paper, you could just take a little bit of this and then you could just wipe it onto your paper, right? And then you'll let it dry. And then I cut the cloud out of it once I had that. So I just kind of made some glitter. You could cut the cloud out of it first if you wanted to, and then take the cloud and once you cut it out of paper and put stuff on it and then let it dry. Either way works. You could do it first, then trace it out, which you probably trace it out on the back. Either way works. So, but that's the basic idea there. So hopefully a couple of these ideas have inspired you, and maybe if you have these little elemental other products, you're inspired to maybe pull them out. If you haven't used them for a while, dust them off and play with them as you are creating with the mixture of your different designer templates as well. So you can add this to colored paper too, but I just wanted that white kind of extra texture. And because I was already putting it on a white background, that's really what motivated me to say, oh, what can I, and I was like, oh, I looked for glitter paper, didn't have it, so I created my own. But I needed that little extra texture because it would almost blend too much in with that white background. So that kind of helped separate it in its case too. And then I just added a little simple title that said always neighbors, because these are our old neighbors, but we often go over to their house and hang out, and so I love that, always neighbor. And then I'll journal, of course, here on this tag. Tags are great for journaling. I think they're super fun. And then I just, because I wanted this to be layered and popped up, I just took the stickers and also put those onto a strip of white cardstock, trimmed it out of the white cardstock. That allowed me to do some pop-up behind it, and then just place those right next to each other. So love pop-up. Often just a simple little pop-up will help give you that distinguished difference as well. So yeah, so taking an inspiration, utilizing your templates, utilizing what you have, and of course creating different formats, but of course always have fun and just play to create, and I can't wait to see what you guys create with this. What media did you use for the cloud? I think I shared that. Yeah, Jane. Oh, just to make sure. Yeah, it's Nuvo glitter. And I think I got all the rest of the questions. Does anyone else have any other questions? If not, happy Friday, and hopefully you're inspired. Hopefully you can make some time, if possible, in this weekend to play to create, whether that is an actual physical project creation, or again, even in the creation of memories, anything that did not exist before. And so every day presents an opportunities for us to create one way or another. And I hope that you take your the processes in which you've learned and adapt them to your life too, as you go about and you play to create memories or just different things as well. And look at those as a process, and of course, strengthening that creator's mindset and having that outlook as well. So, and that awareness. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We will see you back next week for more craftings, I'm sure. So, and of course, I'll always see you in the community. All right, take care. Bye now.